Shalom, everyone. There's one little thing I wanted to talk about with you, and that's about holding grudges. You see, now we all know what a grudge is. A grudge is when someone takes offense, when someone becomes upset about something that happened or something they perceive as a threat, and they hold on to that anger. That's a grudge. We know what that is. Okay. Now there's 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 a difference between a real objective injury that happened and a perceived injury. For example, someone throws a shoe at you, or someone physically slaps you. Okay, that's an objective attack. Or someone slanders you just like that. That's also an attack. Okay, so there are objective attacks. But look at this. If there is a real event, a real historical attack, it can be dealt with very quickly. The issue comes when it's an imagined attack, something that never happened. Walk this through with me. When someone is holding on to certain principles that they are attached to, those principles are not objects that exist in the objective reality. They're just things that are imagined and that they value. So now they are looking for payment for what they're holding on to. And listen this, everyone that fails to give in to the payment they're looking, they perceive that as an attack. But were they attacked? No, they were not attacked. But they perceive it as an attack. Now, if there was a real attack, they could have processed it easily. But because it's a imagined attack, they can't get over it. They can't process it nor get over it because the attack is imagined. They have to repent of those principles they're holding on to. They have to repent of their delusion. That's when the grudge will go away. As long as they're holding on to that delusion, that grudge will persist. You see? And I want you to understand this very clearly. I want you to understand this. Not everyone wants peace. Why? Because to have peace, you need to repent of all the delusions you're holding on to. But the thing is, guys, think about this. They have a delusion, you see? And that delusion can be that they are well mannered and that they have been raised well and that they have and that there are certain principles, certain sacred values that you should never violate. For some, it can be private property. For some, it can be the rights to for personal space. It does not matter what the delusion is. It's a delusion when it cannot be ratified by objective facts and objective truth. For example, personal space, there is no such thing. You can claim a certain area yours when you're attached to it, and you can use violence upon others if they don't uh, um, comply with what you want. But that space, you will die, your body will rot, and that space can just stay there, or that building can be thrown down, and another building can be built. So personal space is not something real. Am I saying that you have to give all your data to everyone? No, I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that the whole idea of personal space is not real. So when people make that an idol in their life, they will go out and look for payment so that they can feel as if what they're holding on to is a reality. So whenever that illusion is threatened, they feel endangered. So basically, they are harming themselves emotionally by holding on to that idol. You see? Because, for example, about personal space, I'm going to give an example here. Okay? You have Kevin. Kevin is 25 years old. He's having his job to see or let me see personal space. So that means that He has a claim upon the influences around him, and he wants to control the influences around him. So that means that he should be aware of all the influences around him, and he's not. First of all, he has a job. He cannot control the boss, nor the other co-workers. So there's one proof that his idol of personal space is a joke. Another thing, he has a fiance, right? He's about to get married. Now he may manipulate his fiance, but his fiance also has social interactions with other people. So now he has to find a way to control those other people who, on their turn, also are in a social web with other people. So you understand this is insane. So now he will try to cut off his fiancée from her friends and from her relatives. Why? To prevent anyone from entering into his space. His space that does not exist. Now let's say he's at a job and there's a new guy on the job. The new guy is handsome and he's talented. Now that new guy doesn't even know that this Kevin exists. He's new at the job. But now Kevin feels threatened because there's another influence there that will affect him, whether he wants or not. Now he begins to hate the new guy, disliking the new guy. What's happening? His delusion is threatened by reality. And he develops a negative attitude towards the new guy. And one day the new guy basically calls him out on it. And he cannot explain his dislike. And now he also feels embarrassed. But instead of being upset with himself and repenting, he's blaming the new guy. And he's holding a grudge. And this grudge, by the way, Kevin is married now, that grudge is working out in his marriage, and he begins to verbally abuse his wife. Because he cannot handle the truth that he has no control. I just gave this example to you to illustrate to you what I mean with imagined offenses, with imagined attacks. That new guy never did attack Kevin. He never did. He never intended. It was Kevin that had to repent. And Kevin that was the one that was the dangerous one. You see? And what I'm telling you guys, the world is filled with such people that are holding grudges due to imagined attacks that never took place. And to defend their delusions, they will lie that certain things happen. They will even lie. They will even make up stuff just like that. I've used the delusion of personal space, because it's one delusion that many people are holding on to. And because they're holding on to that delusion, they're carrying grudges of things of violations that never happened. And now they are bloodthirsty into looking for payment with people that have nothing to do with it. So understand this: there's no grieving process, and there are no solutions for imagined attacks. You see, because those attacks never happened. The delusion needs to be given up. You see, and that's why, believer, I want you to understand this. Till the day Jesus Christ returns, there will be wars, rumors of wars, and there will be strifes, and there will be escalations of violence. Violence will escalate to the maximum. Violence will escalate to the full in these last days. So don't expect to never have any difficulties in your life. Why not? Because you have millions, let me say even billions of people that are holding on to delusions, and they will feel attacked when they never were even targeted. That being said, you all stay in agreement with Christ. Keep on following him. Always forgive, and always follow the instructions of Christ. That being said, shalom.